eModels.co.uk. Go make something awesome. That button. Hello, folks. How are you? Long time no see. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome to Workbench Live with me, Festa from eModels, and we will be continuing with the Sherman Medium M4A3 E8 Sherman Easy 8 tank, folks. It's been a long while, but real life gets in the way, as we know. And yeah, but here we are. Don't forget, if you'd like this kit, there is a link in the description below. So I'm going to just quickly whiz through the chat, and then we'll get down on the bench and do a little bit of final assembly and show you where I've got up to. And then I'll be picking a few brains in the chat along the way. First in was Bill over at LWM Modelling. He says, I've got time for a belly filling sesh. So all the bees are there. Yes, folks. Bench, belly, beverage and biscuits. What's on your bench? What is in your belly? What's your beverage? And what are your biscuits of choice? Because we need to know, don't we? Let's turn that light off just for a sec. That's me saying hello to Bill. You've got Jackie in saying hello. Hello, Jackie. How you doing, my love? Carl's Scale Modelling is in, says good evening all. Hello, Carl. Nice to hear from you the other day, mate. Wolf Richie is in, says hi all. Hiya, Wolf. How are you, mate? Hope you're keeping well. LWM Bill says evening to everybody in the chat. Carl says, thanks for getting back to me, Carl. I'm now pondering the Saturn 3. I've got another one for you. Saturn 4 Ultra. It is a beauty, mate. That's me saying glad to be of help. That's what it's all about, helping each other out. David is in from a Sprue and Glue saying hi to Colin and all in chat. Hello, David. Lovely to see you, mate. Hope you're safe and well. Love to Dave as well. The Gnu is in, says hi, Squiggles. I'll be lurking in and out of chat. Oh, God. Hugs to everyone, he says. Excuse me. Carl says there's just so many out there. There is, mate. I'm hanging on for the Saturn 4 Ultra, but the Pro version. They normally go on a 6-month cycle, so I just want to see whether the next iteration of them just has them few little extras that I'm after, mate. So I'm holding off at the moment. I'm saving up for my 3D printer fund, but before I pull the pin, I just want to see what other options are there. William over at Dorkosaurus is saying hello to everyone. Hello, William. How you doing, mate? Carl's saying hello to William. Graham Robert is in, he says. Oi, oi, Colin. Hello, Graham. How you doing, geez? Betsy is in. We need a new name for Betsy, folks, because we're now in a new month. So Betsy's due her name change. So have a think and we'll issue a new name. Our very own model-making Carl Sagan is in the chat. Lord Jeff from Mongoland is in saying hello, everyone. Hello, Jeff. How you doing, mate? Max is in. He of the Gaslands cars, lost in a generation of nomads. Yeah, Mad Max himself is in, folks, saying hi to everyone. Hello, mate, and love to Mum and Larry, mate. Hansa Cat is in. Good call. I'll pick your brains in a bit. Saying Festa Rugs. Hello, Geese. How are you, mate? Betsy says hi to Jeff and Panzer. Lee Eagles is in. He says hello, Festa. Hello, mate. How you doing? Fox says there's a big Festa on my telly. Yay. Graham says to Panzer, are you not locked up yet? Keith says good evening to Colin and everyone in the chat. Everyone saying hello to Panzer and Max further up. Athol is in. He says evening. Oh, what a lovely day it's been, but as usual it's going to change back to winter. Fantastic. Apparently we're due a storm here in the early hours of the morning, so yes. Bill says it's a tank. Yeah, it's a big one and all. I'll flop it on the bench in a minute, mate. You'll be able to have an ogle. Guru says there's a big Festa on me telly. I just read that out, Cole. Keith says, oh, big tank. Lee says, hello, mate. Angela says, Festa in a big tank. Is it Christmas? Oh, bless you, mate. I'll try my best. Fox has put the same link in I did further up for the tank. Cheers for that, geez. Graham said hello to Fox and Athol. Hello, Fox and Athol. The legend of the beard. I'm tinkering with me beard because I haven't had a shave, folks. I feel a bit like a tramp. Marcus is in. Captain Birdseye himself says good evening, Colin and everybody. Jeff said hello to Betsy. Fox said hello to Graham. Bill says his belly is steak pie, peas, gravy and roast, and Spuds is bench, shiny shoes, and bevy and tea and bickies, Ritz, cheese, crackers. Yes, Bill shaved his canister just like us, and he now passes as a very intimidating Ray Winstone lookalike, and I did get him to do the line out of Scum. I'm the daddy now. This is my manner. And yeah, I was suitably withering in me boots. Carl says I shall look into that. Yeah, there's good YouTube videos on the Saturn 4 Ultra, mate. You'll be mightily impressed. Betsy's belly is meat, feast pizza, ham, chili beef, bacon and pepperoni. Bench to be a 135th Panzer 4. Bevy is chocolate milk. Biscuits is bourbons. Nice one. Athol has also got pepperoni pizza, coffee, bench, primed terrain, biscuits and cookies. Stefan last is in, says evening. Oh, hello, Stefan. How are you, mate? Jeff saying hello to Graham. Bill's got a name for Betsy, Flossie. There you go. New name issued. Flossie it is. Keith says hello to that. Oh, my son-in-law was up your way. He cycled from Land's End to John O'Groats last week. Oh, well done. Was that for a charity, Keith, by any chance, mate? But yeah, nice one, mate. Betsy says Fox is Gertrude. I do believe he's had Gertrude before, mate. Flossie's got a ring to it for some reason. Athol says hi to Jeff, Graham, Panzer, Meow, Keith and the Gnu Fox. Guru says flop it on the bench. Yeah, I just realised, mate, I'm not safe, am I, mate? Just imagine Pete going, oh, God, he's back. Everything looks bigger on Festa's bench. Well, you know, it's the cut of the shorts, mate. That's all I'm saying. Marcus says, belly Turkish koftas, buttery mash and creamy mushroom gravy. Oh, that sounds nice. Bench, Trumpeter SLT 56 Fawn and Phantom Optimus Prime. How's the swear jar do? Beverage, a beer celebrating my car purchase. Oh, it's big real car or model car. And yeah, the Marcus Brun swear box. You know you want one, but yours would be a bucket or a 200-litre oil drum, wouldn't it? Bill says, yeah, you're in my manor. I said hello to Athol. Jackie says belly was chicken finger sandwich. Al says I had to Jackie and Kevy, who says I back to Athol. Bill says, when you flop it on the bench even, don't forget the macro lens. So you did there. Be the James Webb Telescope, mate, would it? Sarah Jane is in. Hello, my darling. Big hugs issued. Hiya, Colin. Thought I'd pop in and give a like and support. Thank you very much. And everyone said hello to Sarah Jane. Right. That's enough from me. Let's switch cameras so you don't have to look at my ugly mug. And we'll show you what we got going on the bench, and we'll turn the cameras, the lights and all of that lot. Get that all sorted out. So let's switch all of that lot on. Closing the button there, Cole. Can't be that hard, mate. Put that one on. Put that one on and bung that on over there. You can lose the hat off me canister. And yeah, I've got stuff on the bench, but whilst I've been away, i.e. late last night because I'd forgotten, I've laid down a little base green, which is from the Life Colour series green. It's from their Life Colour olive drab set that was recommended by Mr. Panzer a while back. So we got the base or the hull done in its base green, and we got a bit of turretage going on. Okay, so we'll want that on there. Just move the camera around because look at it. Yeah, it's a big old beast, isn't it? So we've got that on the go. So that's just the initial green. The front of this is going to be red, like the box art, and then we'll go round and we'll do some faded green and stuff like that. But I thought I'd get a base green down just so that we could have a looky-loo. Okay, so that has been painted a little bit. All the figures have been washed and ready now for primer. I'm just going to move this off the bench just for a minute because I know I will knock it, and I don't want to knock it because, yes. What else have we been up to? Let's just place that safely there for the moment. Let's just get my little box of goodies out. In here, we've got wheels that I've had base green put down. They've got to have the tyres painted, so we've got all the different wheels and stuff. And the tracks. Now, this is where I want to pick people's brains, right? Because I've had a look online on Fine Scale Modeler and Brit Modeler and places, and people were of the opinion to lay down dark iron as a base, which I've done. But it just looks a bit black to me, so I'm unsure whether the pigment powders, rust powders, and perhaps a bit of the old graphite pencil will bring it back, or would you mist over it with a different colour, a lighter grey perhaps, or a mixture of greys? Let me know, because obviously this is all new to me, doing this size of armour. But I just thought that dark iron for me just looked a little bit black. But what's the artwork showing me in the back there? This is the scheme I'm doing. And as you can see, they look pretty black in there. So I'm wondering, would a bit of brown pigment and track wash brown them out a little bit, or would you airbrush them with a mist coat of a different colour? So have a think and give us your opinions, folks, because it says here AMIG A0035 dark tracks. So yeah, there is that colour, but it still looks black to me. But there's rust tracks. I could probably spray a bit of that over it. But yeah, I suppose as a base colour it works, but I was a little bit disappointed how black it looked, to be quite honest with you. I'm going to be doing the red with the face as well. I want to do that where it's worn off a bit. We got all the big gun assembled, or the whatever that is inside, the breech and all of that lot. So we got all of that done. We got the machine gun built last time, so that's all ready for primer. Like I say, all the figures have been washed. All the resin parts have had a good soak, been washed and scrubbed with a toothbrush. So all of that lot is ready to prime, as is Oddball and his crew. I've just got to print off Clint Eastwood and Telly Savalas figures. Thank you to Jackie and Kevin. They sent me a bottle of resin, massively coming in helpful. So I've got them all done and designed and laid out, ready to print, so I can get them all primed and ready to go. Marcus is saying he loves that tank. Happy days. Hansa says, Belly currently cooking a gammon joint with roast spuds, bench and M1A2 Abrams Tusk 2. Beverage and empty coffee mug. That ain't allowed, Pans. You need a brew in there, mate. Balloon colour is blue. Bill says, aluminium dry brush those ridges to make them pop. Good shout, mate. Marcus is saying hello too. Graham, Sprue, Jackie, Kevin, Keith, Steve, Candy Panzer, LWM, Fox, Carl, Chaos Wolf, Huey says, so many awesome people in here. There is, mate. I'm very honoured that you've all come to keep me company, to be honest. Sprue and Glue says, with pigment brown and dry brush with a medium grey. Good shout. Sarah Jane says, I asked Panzer last night, were you doing the Abrams with Tusk? And you ignored me. Got my answer now, it seems. See, I replied to your email, I thought, rather promptly, Sarah Jane, to be quite honest with you. Anyone that sees Panzer under the bus, give him a wave. Marcus says he loves that tank. It is a beautiful build, Marcus. I highly recommend it, mate. I really do. I have got one eye on the big tiger as well. Graham says, red brown on the tracks, Cole, first, mate. Yeah, it had a red oxide primer, and I went over that with some chipping fluid, so I can bring a bit of that out. But yeah, Keith is saying hi to Marcus. Graham says hi to Marcus. Sarah Jane asks Graham how he is, and Crafting with Jackie says hi, Marcus. There you go. So yeah, I'm kind of in and ahhing with the tracks at the moment. So yeah, I mean, there's so many opinions on tracks that, dare I say, it's difficult to keep track of. I mean, in some photos they look a bit grey, almost like a NATO grey. Yeah, they definitely need something. I can't just leave them black, because to me it looks like black primer, but it is actually the Mr. Colour Dark Iron lacquer that's gone down on there. So I wanted to lacquer the tracks purely and simply because of washes and things like that. So anyway, I'm rambling already, folks. On the bench, I've got the gun that goes inside in its component bits, and I've got the figure that comes with the kit to build, so I shall get that built. And then obviously, as if we've got time, I'll then go around and do some rubber black on some of the wheels. But they got this little geezer that comes with the kit, looking rather sullen with a rifle. But I'm building him so that I can check and double check the scale of Telly Savalas and Clint Eastwood, because I've Googled their height in real life, and I'm using the scale calculator to get the resin prints the right height. But it could just be some random part of the movie, because this tank is going to have bits and pieces from various films. Kelly's Heroes, there's a bit in there from Fury, and I've also gone in and watched Band of Brothers and looked at the Shermans on there. So there's little bits and pieces that have appeared in films that have had Shermans in, plus all the stowage going on it and all. So there's loads more still to do, folks. So hopefully we can get back to doing these streams bi-weekly for you, because I've missed it. I've certainly missed you all, and I wanted to get back into doing these shows as soon as I could. Helen says thanks to everyone that has sent good wishes to her through the live streams. She's also thanking Kevin and Jackie for the big jar of Parma violets they sent her. And yeah, she's took the lid off the jar and left it open, but she said if she sees my hands anywhere near them, my hands will be worse than hers. So I jokingly said, like you'd have a nanny cam, and then I got the silence. So somewhere I reckon there's a nanny cam watching me. Yeah. But she's doing well. She's on the mend, hence why I'm able back now to get into some semblance of a routine, because I've missed you all. Which gun are you building, Carl? Rufus? Is it that one? That's the one. There you go. So how have you all been anyway on this wonderful day? There's the key. And also birthday wishes to Ross Medlock. Compo himself, it's his birthday today, so many happy returns if you're watching this back, Ross. Happy belly button day and all of that lot, mate. 111-12 he is today, he's that old. Yeah, we'll just bung this together. It's all these little details now. It's coming to the end of the instructions now on the buildy stage even. Yeah. Graham says, what's that? 8, Sarah Jane, up and down. My brain op has been cancelled, so not an happy bunny. Oh, what brain op's that, Graham? Didn't know you was unwell, mate. Sad to hear that, fella. But, yeah, hopefully they'll get you sorted out soon, mate, because, yeah. Bless you. There you go. So that's a big old shooting stick there. What have we got? We've got some bits going on top of that. Across there, yeah. Got that, and that, and M21. Let's find that. Been in there for a minute. I actually thought I'd taken all the gun parts off the sprues, folks, but I might have got distracted. Let's have a lookykins at M21. Let's find that bad boy. There it is, right in front of you, Carl. So you didn't chop it off. One job, it's all you had. Keith says, wives know instinctively when we're up to something. Oh, yeah, I've got A-level guilt, mate. But the trouble with me is I end up confessing before she even asks me, because I'm like, yeah. She went away for 3 days last year, and when she rang me up, she's like, I think all right. I said, yeah, I may have touched your cooker. Didn't even give her a chance to finish the sentence. Graham, David says, can I ask for a get well wish for our good friend Lindsay, who's in hospital this week? Sorry, mate, didn't know that. Get well soon, Lindsay, if you're watching. And, yeah, I hope you're sorted out soon, mate. So, yeah, no problem with that, David, whatsoever, mate. Lindsay's a good friend, a good supporter of us all. And, yeah, just a down on earth, decent fella. So get well soon, mate. Lee Eagle says, yes, Fox, it's all okay. Asking how mum is. eModels has signed in. All bosses are in. Evening, everyone. Welcome to everyone in chat. Please remember, keep it family friendly and avoid discussing other retailers. Please. Sprue and Glue's belly is jackets, spuds, cheese beans, beverages, coffee, bench Lego, something for tomorrow, biggies or bourbon creams. Sarah Jane says 10 XP. Hey, not a problem. I like having XP, especially when Panzer loses them and I get them. Graham says hi to eModels. Yeah, that'll be Big James or Pete Mate. If it's Pete Mate, it's just as well he hasn't seen that I haven't shaved. Lee Eagle says boomsticks. Marcus says Lindsay gets a well wish from me as well. I hope he's doing okay. Absolutely, mate. Flossie, I've got the name right there, says I reckon Cole's admitted to doing stuff he hasn't had any involvement in. Mate, honestly, I'd confess to any crime, mate, just so that my conscience is clear before I commit it. But yeah, she knows what I'm like. But she's away for 4 days. I think it's next month. And yeah, she's like, oh my God, what's he going to do for 4 whole days? So yeah, going to be fun. Fun for me, not for H. But, yeah. Let's just make sure that's going on the right way round, Colt, because yeah, it goes like that. Yeah, happy days, and then that just flops across there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Something like that. So we'll have that on there in a moment. Panzer says, I've noticed something. You never see eModels and Fox in the same room. Really? That surprises me. I've seen them in the same room. Oh, yeah. grab that off of the side, put them two bits together, and they got that in the middle there. So let's glue this all up. That dry fitted just to check. Yep, a bit of that on there. And then the other piece will go in the middle. Easy. Bill says, Colin told H he did bring his hand out and garden just because H gave him the look. Exactly. Philip is in from Pride Time saying hello. Hello, Philip. How you doing, mate? Lovely to see you. Marcus says, I wish I had followed this build a lot more. The size of the kit, is there something, a lot of cleaning? No, not really. Not a massive amount of cleanup, Marcus. And I am editing all of these live stream videos into a build series that will be released on the eModels and channel and my own, mate. So, like I say, I've just got the editing to do and the voiceovers, and I shall start releasing them shortly, mate. So these will end up being transformed into video content as well. Because a lot of people have asked me, and I've got the camera going now. It's literally just there, filming what you're seeing, see? So, yeah. There you go. Philip's issuing Sarah Jane saying hi and hugs. He's after something. He's after something. But I always tell that he's definitely after something. He's been nice to you. I'd be very, very suspicious of that. Some of that. James is in, says evening, Colin, and all in chat. Festa Rugs. Hello, James. Love to you. Shania and Alicia, mate. I hope you're all keeping well. And big hugs to all of you. Right, we've got a bit of sanding to do across the top of there. Now, there, do you, Carl? But yeah, big old boomstick, though. That honestly, Marcus, you wouldn't be disappointed with this kit, mate. It comes with an aluminium barrel as well. Not excuse me, not an awful lot of photo etch, hence why I chose this one piece, which is a bit of grillage to go on there. And that was about it, mate. So I was mightily impressed with the limited amount of photo etch because yeah, I am not a fan of it, as you may have noticed. Me and photo etch have a love-hate relationship. It loves to hate me. So that goes on there like that. Just like so. Okie dokie. Yeah, and then that goes on there. I think. Yeah, happy days. See, my vision of old manness is so limited. Okay, so we'll have that on there. Cool beans. Just said cool beans, didn't I? Let's locate that in there. Do that now whilst I think about it. That apparently goes up in there, so let's have you on there. That. Clickety-click. Will fit. That. Then this will all get painted before it gets fitted inside the turret. See? Quite surprising, the little extra bits of detail that's in this build. It really is quite impressive. And, you know, I'm not what I would call a serious armour builder. There's people out there that are far more serious with their armour building than I'll ever be, you know, and certainly know their genre. But I thoroughly enjoyed this little, I say little tank, but I thoroughly enjoyed this tank because for me, I've seen and come across to see in detail in this kit that I wouldn't normally see in 35th scale. So it's enabled me to have a rethink on the Sherman build I'm doing for myself in 35th scale because of what I've seen on this build. So it's certainly opened my eyes. And I'm actually now doing my variant as exactly the same as this one. So when I hand this back to eModels, I end up with my own miniature copy of it. So for me, that's a nice little touch. So just lets me look at it and remind me that I did the big one. So, yeah. Just makes the build a little bit more personal, doesn't it? So the figures that I have printed out for this, I'm going to scale down to 35th. And then I should do mine the same. So it'll have the speaker, it'll have oddball and all of that lot around it on a nice little vignette. Boom, happy days. So yeah. A bit like Austin Powers and Mini-Me. eModels will have the big version and I'll have the little baby one. What's going on in chat there? Graham says boomsticks on these 1/16 tanks are big. Oh yeah, absolutely. Look at that. I need to get out more, don't I? Right. Jeff Light is in. He says, sorry for being late on parade. I was having an old man's nap. Nothing wrong with that, mate. Marcus says, once I've got through my shelf of unfinished projects, I'll give my 1/16 a go. Perhaps it suits my sausage fingers better. Oh, what you got, Marcus? What you got? Tell us all. Tell us all. And big hugs to Maggie as well, Jeff. Scroll up and have a looky-loo at what's going on. Natasha's in, saying hi to everyone. Hello, Natasha. Crafting Budgie Mama. Everyone's saying to Philip. Flossie says translate. Is that where we get Festa to English commentary? Google Translate apparently are offering that as a choice. If you want to giggle, watch one of my videos with YouTube's closed captions on. The Bobbins is in, says good evening. Hello, Bobbins. How are you, buddy? Keith says, I'm tempted to have a go at the new 1/16 8-wheeled Puma German armoured car. Oh, that sounds a nice kit, mate. Barker says, hi, Jeff. Never underestimate the old man's nap. Jeff says, yes, we do, Carl, mate. Nothing wrong with an old man's nap, mate. It's an essential part of our day. My wife has discovered the pleasures of the afternoon nap during her recovery period, and she now gets it. Because normally she sits there going, look at that old fart with his afternoon nap, bless him. Yeah, she's been having a lot of them herself. But then I may have been guilty of stacking things around her while she's asleep, and which is quite funny. The names I get called when I do that, I won't say on here. Everyone's saying hello to Tasha. Tasha's saying hello to Athol. Fox has taken a shine to the 1/16 tracks, 1/16 scale, maybe someday. Yeah, you want to do a 1/16 scale now, Bill, didn't you, mate? He's kind of fallen in love with this tank, and he wants to do it as a 1/16 tank now. Keep a look out for it, folks. He's moving out of his Warhammer circle. I, for one, will watch it. Will it be 6 episodes? There's the question. Marcus says, yeah, exactly, one day. Yeah, I've got a few 35ths up there that I want to get done. Panzerfaust, got a Tiger and a Jack Panther. So I should get them all done. Would I like a 1/16 for my own shelf? Probably, yeah, to be quite honest with you. I could see me ending up getting one at some point for myself, but probably get some more of my stash built at the moment because space is a premium at the moment in Festa Towers. This one, yeah, I'm lucky. The reason I'm doing this is it'll be sent back up to eModels and they'll be storing it. So, yeah, it's not taking up my shelf space, but it also has just given me the opportunity to have a go at a big build, to be honest. It's always been one of them. I've ummed and ahed over it. And yeah, I was given the chance and I jumped at it with both feet. But it's interesting because for me as a non-armour purist, it's given me an opportunity to explore the genre a bit more and get to know it. And, you know, I've been watching a lot of content and, yeah, seeing how things are done and just picking people's brains. That's what I like about these solo streams on a Monday, is I can sit here and ask the chat questions and get honest, decent answers. And I like that, because I don't pretend to know everything. I'm not an oracle of knowledge, not at all, but I'd have a good try. And when people come up with tips and recommendations, like the figures, when I said about doing figures, it was Jeff who came up with oddball. And yeah, so why not put these ideas in the builds? Because at the end of the day, these are shows for you as well as me. And it's just nice that people have had an input. I think, anyway. And it's just fun, isn't it? Lets you all feel involved. Fox says 6 isn't a real number. Flossie says, don't play Buckaroo with 8, she will get you back. Yeah, she was sitting there yesterday, and she's got this stress ball thing that they've given her, the physios and that, to get the fingers working again and thumbs. And she was sitting there like Blofeld's daughter. And so I feel all right. She said, yeah, just exercising my hands. I said, oh, what's that all about? She said, well, I've got to get them supple, she said, because you've had 6 weeks of beating-free existence, she said, and I can't be doing with that. I'm like, really? First thing you think about is beating poor old me? So, yeah. She was like, yeah, don't try for sympathy, because you ain't getting any. The normal service, she says, will be resumed. So she said, when the physio says, yes, you can get back to normal activity. She said, that basically says that's a green light. She said, to give you a dry slap. So, which is lovely, isn't it? Bless her. Let's get that in there. Do a bit more clean up on that. Don't want to lose that yet. Let's have a look at our old mate here. Let's start getting him done. What's the Harry? 21:35. Yeah, what we'll do, we'll probably do an hour or so tonight, folks. See how we get on. Because it is a school night for folks, and I am mindful of that. We normally run the regular eModels stream for about an hour, so we'll see how we get on. See how I feel after an hour, and we'll carry on if we're all right to. There you go. Now again, with this gloopy stuff, I just let it do its thing and squeeze out, because we can always go over and do a bit of deft finagling and fettling with the sanding sticks. But for the moment, I like the gloopy glue just to give it a bit of squish factor, because it squeezes out the kit's own plastic to fill any gaps. There's a couple on this figure, not massively bad, but there are a couple of areas that are just a little bit, yeah. But then I can imagine a lot of people that do this tank probably don't build the figure. Panzer says, admit it, you have missed your H applied dry slats. I have, in the point of, because it lulls you into a false sense of security, Panzer. And I've come a little bit apprehensive, mate. And it's like, yeah, I know they're coming, mate. And yeah, it's almost like normal service, mate, isn't it? And I do deserve every one of them, mate, as you know. She does need a medal, bless her. But yeah, she said it's really painful. She said, letting you press buttons on my cooker. Yeah, but she stands there. She's like Velcro pans. Her chin is stuck on my shoulder saying, yeah, get the hands back away. Yeah. It was funny. But she called in reinforcements on a Sunday for the Sunday roast, because she don't trust me anywhere near that. So Cal was over helping her with that, and I was banned from the kitchen again, mate. Graham says, yeah, if I had a tea towel. This is the thing, Graham. I've got no purple triangle welts, mate. I look like one of them old prison suits. Do you remember the one with the arrows on? I've got no healing triangular welts anywhere on me because I haven't been caught with the tea towel for a while, mate. And yeah. So yeah, am I nervous? Of course I am. Of course I am. And these will get denubbed once I've glued these together, just in case the eagle-eyed have spotted that, because I know they're there. But when I sand all of this and blend it all, that's when the nubs will get removed, because they're on the outside looking in, so they're not in the way. And dare I say it, as this is melting, it can be used as a bit of filler in a few places. So it is deliberately left there at the moment. Probably annoying me more than it is you guys, but sometimes I find if I sand them off with a figure joint, I roll over the edges because I'm very heavy-handed, and then you end up with a deep void that you got to fill. So I'd rather leave them on there when they're gated on the outside, and then I can use the whole shape then to blend it in. So don't tell me off. Got a bit of leggage going on there. Again, just quickly do a test dry fit just to have a looky-loo. That's not a bad fit, really. I've seen worse. I've had worse. Revell Shuttle springs to mind. Less said, the better. That'd be a good kit for you, Marcus. You'd enjoy that. A nice Revell 747, or better still, the Space Shuttles with booster and rocket set, mate. That's a lovely kit. You'd have good fun with that, mate. Trust your Uncle Festa, mate. I can see Panzer's head shaking now. Can't believe you've just done that to Marcus. What's he ever done to you? No. I've got a nice 1/4 scale Concord to assemble yet. That's going to be a pup. Cool, I'll clean that up. Graham says, yeah, remember them well, or H would turn into Mary Dole with the frying pan and bosh you on the floor. She's got a cast iron frying pan, Graham. And I'm like proper Rabsy Nesbitt, like, hey, you Mary Hen. Because that's when Helen's Scottish accent comes out, is when she's threatening me, mate. PJ's in, saying hello. Hello, PJ, how you doing, geez? Nice to see you in. Flossie says you are cruel to Marcus. No, I'm not at all. I've got nothing but the utmost admiration for Marcus, to be honest with you. He's fresh into the hobby and he really has taken to it, and he's turning out some really decent work. So, yeah, and not only that, he's a bloody decent fella. So, yeah, utmost respect. And, of course, he does grow probably the best Captain Birdseye beard ever. That's another leg glued together. We'll finagle some of them in a minute. Guru says, what's that? Track colour depends on how it used it is. He said, generally lightly used tracks would be dark grey steel, very dark grey black colour if painted at the factory, with shiny areas. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? There's a multitude of different opinions on them, and like I say, I was on some sites overnight because I only got the base colours down yesterday because I got my Mondays wrong. See, I for some reason got it into my head that this was Bank Holiday Monday this week, and there was nothing, but that was last week. So suddenly at about midnight, I realised yes, it is a show, so I had to quickly put up the show for tonight. And then I started rummaging through the tank box and realised I hadn't actually put any of the base colours on it. So it was out with the airbrush early doors, getting it all painted up. So, but yeah, I had a look on Fine Scale Modeler and Brit Modeler, and the consensus there was basing with a dark iron, which I've done. But for me, I couldn't leave it like that because it's too dark, isn't it? So I suppose also environment comes into it. Where's the tank been? What's it doing? Dusty road, that sort of thing. But And that's where these shows come in handy, because there's a lot of people in here that build a lot of armour that know that. So yeah, I do take all your advice on board. At least that's what I tell Fox, but don't tell him that I said that. All right, let's give that a clean. It says. Quinster's Scale Models is in. He says, evening Festa from Andy Quinny. Hello, my friend. How are you? Panzer says, tracks were painted at the factory a dark mahogany-like brown. A bit like a whole red, do you mean, Pans? But the minute they are driven, the paint would start to wear off and weather. Ah, right, yeah. Well, this is Korean War paint scheme on it. Yeah, I'm going to have it. Well, you know, it's seen a bit of action and that, so it's not going to be factory fresh in any way, shape or form. So yeah, it's just intriguing to get people's opinions of it, because, you know, or on the subject, because, like I say, it's not my preferred genre. I say preferred, but it's not a genre I've built a lot of. That's the easiest way of saying it. Being that it's such a big scale, you kind of want to try to get it as good as you can possibly get it, because, you know, it's a big old tank, isn't it, you know? Marcus says Devil's Metal. Yeah, it was only a teensy wincy bit though, Marcus, to be honest. I've got it in here somewhere. He says optimistic. There it is. Oh, you're going to be so proud of me on this, Marcus. I will show you the massive task of photo etch that I had, mate, because for me this was an epic challenge. There it is. A photo etched reel. And literally, that is it. Yeah. So yeah, that's been dry fitted, and yeah, that'll just go on there and blend into the background and won't even notice that it's photo etched. But I did shudder. I developed a slight twinge when I saw it on the box with photo etched parts. I was like, no. But it was there. I do think it laughed at me at one point as well. Does anyone else have a pet hate for photo etch? I mean, I do see a lot of battleship models that have got photo etch on, and when it's done, it does look beautiful, you know what I mean? And yeah, but me personally, it's not something I really enjoy doing. That's something for the chat there. What's your least favourite part of the hobby? When you're doing a build, what's the bit that you hate the most? Is there a task that you really don't enjoy? You know, for some people it's building, other people they're not fond of painting. Me, you know, it's a love-hate relationship with photo etch and super glue. But are there any issues or tasks in the hobby that you really, really do not like? There's bound to be something, because we all have a bit of that, don't we? Let's just drive it his canister. A strange look about him. Fox says all the building. Yeah, you don't like building at all, do you? It's your pet hate in a way, and you do it, you tolerate it, but you kind of are glad when it's over, aren't you? Yeah, one of my mates, he likes doing tall ships, but he's not a fan of doing the rigging, even though he builds tall ships. But, you know, he likes them because they're beautiful to look at, but he isn't a fan of doing all the rigging. Yeah, it's different things, isn't it? It's different tasks in the hobby. You know, some of them we take to, others. Yeah. Quinster says, masking and cleanup is my dislike. Yes. Bobbin says, I don't mind a bit of PE, but I don't usually use all the bits. Thing I find with photo etch, I've got aircraft that I've got Edward sets, and you get the digital dashes, don't you? You know, with the LCD screens. I get that. I get aluminium barrels. I get frill tracks, things like that. Grills of photo etch, I get. What I don't understand is why people would cut off round rails to put on flat photo etch rails. That's the one that always throws me. So yeah, that one I don't get. I mean, there's aircraft photo etch I've got, which is like got the steps that go up into the cockpit. You know, all of them sort of things. I can understand that because, you know, they do embellish the build. But sometimes I do get a bit lost with why certain things are changed to a photo etch part. I do like seeing, I think, is it called a vanilla build where people do the build with the kit plastic and everything unpainted, but it's the kit with all the photo etch without any paint whatsoever. And I do like seeing builds like that because it does let you see the craftsmanship that's gone into that. That seems to be quite a thing now. I mean, yeah, I would like to do a proper full-blown battleship, but again, it's having the shelf space. Where would I store it? Where would I put it? That's a good one, Pansy says. The bit of the hobby I absolutely positively hate, getting to the checkout and discovering how much. Yeah. Bill says, big bucket wheels are slowly going off my Christmas card list. I wonder why. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the buildy stage. I do prefer when I can go a little bit off piste. A bit like I did, wait for this, PJ, a bit like I did with Louis car or some of my Warhammer builds where I don't actually do it out of the box. That gives me a little bit of freedom to be a bit more expressive, and I enjoy that. I find sometimes straight out of the box builds, I find just a little bit confining. I'd say that that's probably what I dislike, if I'm honest, is your out of box. That's what you've got to build it as build, and I just find that sometimes a bit restrictive for me, but yeah, 9 times out of 10, an egg will go on a build anyway. So, but a genre that I hate, I wouldn't say I hate. There's genres that I build currently that once my current builds are done in that genre that I'll be moving away from. But that's purely because of my having to change how I build things and do things now. So yeah, so there are genres I should be moving away from, but I can't really think of anything particularly I don't like. You'll know when I started, probably wooden decking or something like that would probably be a bit thing for me, because I am quite heavy-handed, and I could imagine if it's balsa wood, there would be quite a bit of that I would damage. So, because I am a bit heavy-handed and I'm very clumsy. The minute someone says, oh, my, there you go, that's fragile, you know I'm just going to pick it up and crush it. So, yeah. But this build, I must admit, I thoroughly enjoyed. I was intimidated, I'll be honest with you, when I first chose the build. But I wanted to explore larger scale, because as time goes on, I struggle with the smaller scales, so I thought it would be an opportunity to do bigger scale stuff for the guys at eModels to keep the builds coming. So I'm changing up how I do the stuff for that reason. So Jeff says the new 350 Yamato has a phenomenal amount of PEs. Yeah, I think Kev was saying he one of these he got a big set of photo etch and wooden decking for, and there was like a dozen sheets of it, maybe more, I don't know, but yeah. Like I say, when it's done well, it really looks good. I was bought a H2 carbon by Wendy Hickson, bless her, and I really struggled with the chain because with my tremors and that, the picking them up, more pieces went flying past my right ear than went on the chain, so I had to concede defeat for the moment and didn't get round to finishing the detail chain. And that's when I realised that me and detail upsets now, you know, we've had our time, so my bike building days will be coming to an end, and probably my shiny car stage will come to an end because I struggle with all the detail up bits now, so I'm having to change. But I think that's what you do with a hobby anyway, because a lot of us have old man vision anyway. There's only so many optivisors you can put on. I think as we get older, we do adapt and change our hobby. But are any of you having to make changes on how you do the hobby? You know, are you having to look at certain genres that you once did, like 70-second scale or 1/4 scale, and go, yeah, it's a bit too small for me now, I have to go up a scale. Yeah. Decaling dashboards on cars now, you know, I can barely see the dashboard, let alone the decal. Yeah. I'm that person who takes a photograph of the instruction book section with his phone and zooms in so I can actually read the numbers. Axe McGinn says, painting wise for me is when I do horde armies and same colour scheme, etc., especially painting gold trim for Chaos Marines. I love the look when it's done, but God, it's a grind. Yeah, I've got a load of stuff in projects boxes that I'm going to be sitting and painting, because I think that will be the direction I go in, which will be painting of the Warhammer stuff, doing videos of that, weathering abandoned vehicles, that sort of thing, because one, it's tweaked a bit of interest, and also, dare I say it, it hides me mistakes easier, because I do make a lot of mistakes now. So yeah, so the weathering side of it, moving away from clean paintwork, does give me that opportunity where if I've done a particularly shonky seam job, or you know, I've been heavy-handed somewhere or cracked a piece of the vehicle, well, it's an abandoned vehicle at the end of the day, so it lets me get away with some of the mistakes I make. And I've found this recently with a lot of the stuff I've been doing. I've been going through my shiny stash, and I spent more time correcting, masking, painting mistakes than actually doing the builds. And that for me is a sign that, yeah, you've got to make a change, haven't you? Because you stop enjoying it, and I don't ever want to stop enjoying the hobby. Super Fiddly Bit says, Bill, that could have been moulded to larger bits. Yes. Panzer says, going back to PE, I used to do a lot of aftermarket sets. With today's slide moulded plastic, I now pick and choose what to paint. That's been the big thing, Panzer, hasn't it? The changes with slide moulding technology has really opened up for the modeler more opportunities now to not have to use the detail upset. So you do like your armour, so I can imagine, you know, a lot of the detail upset for you is glorious because it gives you all that detail that you crave. I've got a couple of rye fields up there that are full interior sets, and I've had the kits themselves a few years now. And I do dig them down and think, yeah, I'm going to start building it, and then I'll put them back going, yeah, I'll do a few more armour builds first, just to hone my skills a bit more. I think that's healthy to be apprehensive of kits, especially like in that genre, because you want to make sure you do the kit justice, because they're not cheap. So yeah, you do have to make changes. All part of it. But for me, it keeps the interest as well, because it does spark an interest. There you go. Then gradually now that's blending together nicely, so I'm happier now. Yeah, so that's one arm smoothed. Marcus says, anyway, got to go. Cracking show, Cole. Take care, everyone. Well, thank you, Marcus, mate. Massively appreciated. I'll go until 10:30, folks, and then I'll call it a night. That lets me just get this all finished off and we can finish our chitter-chatter. But, yeah, it's only been an interesting one, but this is where the 3D printers come in handy on this build, because it's just enabled me to add a few little features to it. I've bought some resin aftermarket for it as well, the stowage. But it's just enabled me to just add a little bit of extra stuff to it. You know, I've got buckets to go on there, aluminium buckets, stowage, backpacks, crank, tin helmets, packing cases. So yeah, there's a fair bit to go on there. I'd say if I can get them all primed up and that, we can start getting them painted. But the main focus over the next few weeks will be tank tracks, getting the wheels on, and then we can start getting into chipping rusty, and yeah, go for it. Get the face on, get the decals on, and then we can go, right, let's see what we can do. Don't want it to look too knackered, but I don't want it to look factory fresh either. Not sure how far to go with it. Less is more at the end of the day, but we'll see. It's your biggest fear, isn't it? Is, are you going to overdo it with the weathering? Are you going to then spoil the build? So, and the box art isn't really, I say the box art, but the instruction artwork isn't really looking that gnarly. So, yeah, looks reasonably. At first, I didn't know whether there was a 2-colour camo scheme on it. I think that's just shadow. But yeah, it's different. Probably dull this down a bit and feather the edges and have it a bit more faded and look as if it's been clined over and that. But yeah, the tracks do look pretty dark in there, but like I say, I think it was Panzer and David with the dry brushing of the light grey. Yeah, it looks like it's got it there, doesn't it? Oh yeah. And then, like I say, a bit of pigment. I suppose I need to think of getting a bit of styrene for the base as well to sit it on and go, right, what context is it in? So yeah, we'll give it a bit of thought anyway. We'll see. A little way off yet. It's just nice to be back at the bench with the tank, because it's been sat in its box next to me there for a while. And it's been calling me, you know, and it's like every time we've gone to do the show, there's, yeah, something's got in the way. So sorry it's been a while since you've seen this, but hopefully the wait will be worth it. This will be road trip to eModels. H said she'll take me up there so I can take this, the Bane Blade and all the other builds back to them. And then you'll be able to see it in person, folks. Hey, you'll be really pleased because you've got to find space for it then. You'll be over the moon. This is Pete Will. And then she'll probably not be over the moon when Pete says, oh, that'd look nice in my cabinet. There you go. Let's start smoothing it over them ripples of the cruisers. Jeff Light says, catch you on Saturday, if not before Marcus. Take care and stay safe. Yes, Marcus does a good show on a Saturday night, folks. Pop over and share the love. Always nice to see him. A talented artist he has on with him as well, Annika. Really, really talented. And yeah. There you go. Beginning to smooth down now. Jeff Light says, could you 3D print a base, Carl? Probably could, mate. It would be more than one section. Because my print bed on the filament printer is 240 by 240. So yeah, probably could actually, mate. That would give me at least some form of contour, and yeah, could weld it together, and yeah, that's actually a good shout, mate. I'll see what I can come up with for it, because I was going to go the styrofoam route, but it is a bit flimsy, whereas doing a PLA base for it, it would at least give it a bit of strength. Yeah, it's a point. Yeah, I'll look into it, mate. It's going to be, what, about A3 size, isn't it? I'm not going to go massive on a base. But yeah, about A3 size would be enough just to have a bit around the edge, because that's an A3 cutting there. But always give it a little bit of curvature, can't you? You know, or either that or get a nice IKEA deep frame for the sidewalls and then have that on it. What do you think? Wouldn't be too big, would it? Yeah. Keep it nice and subtle. Yeah. Yeah, I did say subtle. I went there. Just lose that off of there. I don't like that scratch on there. It's going gradually now. Jeff Light says Annika's artwork is phenomenal. It is, mate. It really is. Yeah. I was fortunate enough to know Nim Sindarin, another friend that we sadly lost, and she was another talented artist. And seeing Annika's work in the gallery always makes me think of dear old Nim. And yeah. Panzer says you can buy larger and thicker sheets of styrofoam. Yeah, I've seen them, mate. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too massive with it, purely and simply because I know the size of eModels is counters at their store. So I can't do a super duper massive 60 centimetre by 60 centimetre base, because it's got to go under their counter. So I am kind of governed by their shelf, but I think A3 would probably be sufficient. So yeah, something worth thinking about. Go all night shift on it, Panzer, couldn't I? Oh, right. Yeah. Be interesting to see, like I say, a bit of road, maybe a bit of old broken wall or something like that, or the end of a lower part of a shop or something. I don't know, some kind of, do I do a derelict building? I don't know. It's definitely something I need to look into, because it's going to determine how far you go with the weathering as well, isn't it? Because you kind of want to blend it into its environment. What do you think of bases? You know, what would you do if you was doing a base yourself? You know, what environment would you want to put it in? Dirty, muddy road, dusty track? Would you want it in a deep, muggy, wet and gnarly field? So many environments you could put it in. I suppose the easiest option is what's on the box. What's the environment it's in on there? So I think it's just a road scene, if I remember rightly. Oh, cheers, mate. He's going to PM me a link for the balls. Yeah. Fox, yeah, that's a good analogy. He said, can't go too big, otherwise it'd be like Gibbs's boat. It's like Ted with the Titanic, isn't it? What's that? He says there, the inside face of the tracks would be rubber grey and the outside would have metallic where it contacts the ground, all of which would have a patina or grime, rust, dust, dry earth and mud. There you go. Bobby says, Festa, you could get the saw out, cut it in half and have the front half bursting through a wall. Could you imagine me trying to explain to Peter at eModels why I've just taken a saw to his big kit? If it was mine and I had spent my own money on it, dare I say it, I'd be cheeky enough to probably go for that. But I am mindful this isn't actually my property, it's eModels' property, mate. And yeah, I don't think I'd get away with it, if I'm honest. Because, yeah, it might be that one, it might be that one step too far. Not saying that they would be strict, but it's all about, you know, just that respect, isn't it? It's someone else's property, mate. Like when I'm sent builds as gifts, I always try to do them out of box, because if I want to get the saw out, I'll buy the same kit and get the saw out on the one I've bought. I got that with a Panigale I got bought by Wendy. I did the outer box on the Tricolore, and I've got another one to build that I'm going to do my rat bike on, because, yeah, I wouldn't have done it to the one that Wendy bought me because I would have felt that I was insulting her generosity. So, just my personal mantra. You know, it's a bit like Kevin Jack have bought me builds. The last thing I'm going to do is get the saw out and chop them up, because I don't think it'd be right. Hugh's in saying good evening, inmates. Hope we're all well. Hello, Hugh. How are you, my friend? Stephen Haynes Models is in, says hi, Festa. Hello, Stephen. How are you, buddy? Lovely for you to pop in and say hello, mate. But by all means, Bobbins, I'll always say to Pete, it was Bobbins that made me do it, Gov, honest. Yeah. Oh, I could just imagine that. Right, Pete, this tank, yeah, it's now 1/8 scale. Why is that? Well, I cut an 8, I cut the other 8 off, mate. Bless him. Got me thinking, though. But yeah, I was ogling at the Tiger, and it does. There's something about a Tiger tank that I find. I don't know, it's just a Tiger tank, innit? And it's one of them in 1/16 scale sitting across there staring at me with a big boomstick. It's like, yeah, because I kind of want to put a bit of electricity in there as well, to be honest with you. So it's not off the table, put it that way, but at the moment it's shelf space. Especially with some of the big part works I've got as well. They take a shelf up on their own. So Bill says it's still not too late for me to donate the bucket wheel excavator. All they have to say is yes. Yeah. I had it lined up, Bill, as a build for them, and it was like, yeah, please don't build that because I'm not going to have nowhere to put it. I chose the 16th tank instead. Don't know which is worse, to be honest with you, but you've had great fun doing that, Bill, haven't you, mate? You've loved every minute of it. Anyone that's got any railings of photo etch that they want assembled, post them to Bill. He'll sit and happily do them all for you. He really, really enjoyed doing them. Everyone said hello to Fox and Hugh, Stephen. Happy days. But yeah, I was asked recently what the next build is that I'm going to be doing for him. It's going to be the Platinum Edition London bus, folks. Going to be doing one of them. I might squeeze that in on the Wednesday show when I've done the mini art scene, or I might use it when I've done the tank build and do the bus as a solo stream. I'm undecided yet as to how I'm going to get that built, because it's sat there, it needs building. You know, if that's something you'd like me to do on the solo shows, say so. If it's something you would like me to do on the shows I do on a Wednesday with Fox, then I'll do it on the Wednesday show, whatever. But yeah, and that's the 24 scale London bus. Nice to do another one. It's been a good few years since I've done one. So I did get bussed out at one point because, I kept building them. So, but they're fun to do, and it's for Pete anyway. So least I can do. I think that's actually going to live at Peter Towers. I'm not sure, not 100% sure. A few little things that are going to be added to that just for fun. So you know what I'm like with the London buses. I do a few tweaks here and there and put a few eggs in, and there will be eggs on it. So keep an eye out for them, folks. They will be appearing. There'll also be a bit of raggy in there. There's a bit of raggy for this as well to go in, so. Bill says it's a 1/350 of ship. Next, I already have the floating wall shelf for it on my Amazon wish list. Absolutely. PJ says, I think Fox should build the London bus. Oh, I think he would hate every minute of it, PJ. Yeah. Bless him. Subaru Impreza, he'd love that. Yeah, I somehow couldn't imagine him doing a London bus. It's not a genre that he would enjoy doing, mate. Like anything, we've all got our likes and dislikes, and I think cars and bikes, modern vehicles, is just something that don't interest him. Who would you watch Warhammer with? You wouldn't have no Warhammer getting done for eModels then, would you? Because they do stock Games Workshop stuff. As you'll see Wednesday, because he's doing these Lord Croak. Hopefully the rest of my styrofoam would have turned up for Wednesday. I'm waiting for some more, but I've got enough to start marking out where all the cobbles are going to go on the road and that. So I'll sit and do that on Wednesday, and I can start figuring out where stuff's going to go. That's going to be a simple process for that. Nothing too extravagant, he says. A filthy rally car, perhaps, to Fox. Yeah. Atal says, Celia's home from work. It's my turn to feed her, so catch you again. Ta-ta, the new. Ta-ta, mate. There you go, mate. And that's why PJ suggested it. Yeah, he's messing with Fox, isn't he? You rotter, PJ. You rotter, you. Picking on the poor old guru. God, I could just imagine the language. Especially putting down, because with the platinum edition of the bus, you get the wooden floors on that. Oh, I could just imagine him doing all them wooden floors on the stairs, then with the diamond plate. And what? I just realised it's got photo etching. It's got brass poles and everything in there. Really is a nice looking build, I must admit. If it had been out when I did my initial one, I would have got that. But alas, it wasn't a thing back then. But yeah, it's going to be nice to revisit it. I'm tempted to put the electronics in it like I did my original one. I'm undecided yet because it'll only ever be switched on once. And then once it's under the counter, it'll never be switched on again. So part of me is tempted to do it, and the other part of me is it's a waste. So I don't know. I need to find out where it's going. If it's going in Pete Towers, then yeah, obviously, you know, he'd be sitting there fiddling with the switches all night long, bless him. So depends on where it's going to live. If it's just going to sit in the store at the bottom of the counter, it's never going to be switched on. So there's that seam under there. Get a bit done on his canister, and then we'll, yeah. What do we remember? Jeff says, if I did another ship build, it would be a waterline model. Yes, some of them are beautiful, aren't they? I like the guys that do the seascapes. They look spectacular. It would be a waterline, but I wouldn't have the courage to hack it in half. Yeah, getting the saw out is one of them. But if you overthink it, you'll never do it. Literally just go, I'm going to cut that. Bang, cut it. It's done. Because at the end of the day, if it goes wrong, it's only styrene. Glue it back together. Fox says, I still have quite a fancying for some kind of small tramp steamer. Small as not in a big cargo or passenger ship, but a little junky old vessel. I reckon that'd be mint, mate. What, you mean like one of the old Savannah paddle steamers, that type of thing? I always do the Revell Black Pearl, Fox. You'd love that. Just realised I've got that to build yet. Damn it. Fun weekend build that'll be. Just try and round that off. Luckily he's got his helmet going on anyway over that, so we'll just round it down for now anyway. Just to start the process, because I shall go over the seams on any of this with a bit of the old gloop anyway, so it's not a big problem. I like to try and get as much of the initial seam out as I can at this stage, but he's got his big old helmet going on there like so anyway, so you're not going to see a lot of that. It's like anything, you want to try and do as best you can. A bit of an odd shaped canister actually. I think they've moulded in a little indent so that you can get the helmet on in the right angle of the dangle, so to speak. So obviously the seam just below his ear roll I want to get a shot of. Can't have that. Can't have a seam down the side of your figure. That look bish, shouldn't it? Hugh says, spent all day cleaning up a pair of old rusty four-hand paraffin storm lanterns. They look lovely now, burning away with new wicks. I love the smell of paraffin. It reminds me of my youth and 70s aerospace. We used to have the blue and white tin room heaters as kids. They was about 3 foot high. And they used to have the big wick on the front that used to fill up the thing with the paraffin and have them on. And I can always remember the winters in the 70s with that on, like, you know, and it was great. It really was. Yeah, I definitely remember them. My mum used to have the little paraffin lamps as well in the lounge. They had like a glass handle shape that the wick was in, and then you put the lid over the top of that. It was almost like a white lid with like flowers or whatever painted on it. But yeah, I always remember them as well, the smell of them. Touch them at your peril was a motto, because obviously paraffin eaters and kids, yeah. Yeah. Fond memories they were, the paraffin eaters. In a way, you kind of look forward to the winter because you got used to the smell of them. It's a bit like two-stroke. You know, I mean, when I first started going to bike racing, you know, all the bikes back then were two-stroke engines, and you just used to get a lung for the two-stroke at the edge of the racetrack, and it was absolutely lovely. It really was. Yeah, my old lawnmower, that's a two-stroke engine in it, and 25-1 oil fuel mix on it. But yeah, it does have a distinctive smell. So yeah, I totally get what you mean there, Hugh, mate. There's a lovely smell. Right. So his lug hole's done. Get his boots done, and then we'll wrap up for the evening then, folks. And next time you see these figures, they should all be primed and base coated, ready to start doing a bit of painting on them. I think the priority is going to be the tracks, the wheels, getting them all ready and getting this red down. Probably whop on the decals as well, and then we can start looking at how we dull the tank. Mind you, I've got some faded olive drab over there in the rack, so I might go over and fade some of this first before I put the decals on. Get them on, and then I can lightly go over the decal with a bit of a sanding sponge just to sand them down a bit, and then do a bit of paint chipping through it. We'll see how it goes. Best laid plans and all of that. But yeah, I would heartily recommend this scale to any of you out there that are tank builders, because it is an eye-opener. It really is, because when I look at this build, and I've looked at the turret, I've looked at casting ID marks, weld seams, things like that, and then that's stuff you don't normally pick out on the 35th scale. I certainly don't with my old man eyes. So it's given me a completely fresh perspective when I go back to work on my 35th Sherman. Now, this is why I've held off of doing all my armour, so that I can get this build done and pick up the tricks. So I've been taking quite a few close-up photographs of the model in the various stages, so that I can just make a note of the details. That alone has made this build worthwhile, and also the opportunity of breaking my solo stream hoodoo, because I was always apprehensive about solo streaming because I was just nervous about doing it. So it has helped me come out of that shell a little bit. And that's thanks to all of you that have come in and spent time with me on a Monday, because without you, there isn't a show. It's that simple. But yeah, it's been nice to do. These boots ain't going to be as shiny as yours, Bill. The Bill was bullying boots earlier in the Zoom, folks, and always nice to see boots getting balled properly. Proper going for it as well. He was had his little bit of water, bit of cotton wool, giving it the beans. I must admit they were mint, they really were. Yeah, that's one of them done. I've got to polish his helmet. Is there a seam on there? Yeah, there's a little one there. Sounded wrong, Colin. Sand the helmet, there you go. Get rid of that nub. Same round the back there. Start working my way up and around that. Lose that. Right down the middle. And then we start blending that in. Jeff Light says he can remember the paraffin heaters and lamps. Hugh Gordon says SO Blue Paraffin or Pink Panther. Very light two-stroke gate smell. Hugh Gordon says can't beat a big old helmet. Oh, well, you can. I know. Bad, ain't I? Again, it's just the little details that you see on these things. It's just like nice, isn't it? Great fun. Like I say, got the gun built, got the figure built. I went round and base coated all the hatches. That's where Oddball is going to be poking out. So I've done all of that. All the glassware will go up inside that. Got wheels over there that have been started. So yeah, it's quite a bit of progress been made. I was going to spray it on air, but I don't know. I don't know whether it would come out well on air. Because, yeah, it's such a big old beastie where the cameras and that's just going to be obscured by the back of my hand all night. So the chipping and that I'll be able to do on air. But I think the initial airbrushing work, probably better doing it just off air. Gets it done, dusted. I'm filming it anyway. That's that side of it. But with a compressor going in here, I just worried that it would pick up through the microphone. Have a bit of that. Give that a little polish. Check, yeah, a bit more sanding on the middle of that. What else is there? Hugh says paraffin is $4.99 a litre these days. All my forebears are rambling in their graves. A fiver for a litre of paraffin. Oh my God. That's shocking, mate. Wow. So we're getting old man now, aren't we? £5 for paraffin. Holy moly. That is shocking. That's a shocking amount of money. Wow. Can't believe that's shocking. £5. Mind you, what would petrol be a gallon now? Because I'm sure when I first started driving myself, I think petrol was about 55p a gallon, there or thereabouts. I don't know, but then it went to litres, and yeah. Absolute rip-off, mate, isn't it? You're going to get me on a shrinkflation price wibble any minute. I can feel it building already. Wow, £5 a gallon for paraffin. It's only a waste. Isn't paraffin a waste byproduct anyway of the fuel process? So leave that £5. I can't wait till my mum. I see her teeth flying across the room now. The mere mention of it. Ouch! She goes into Catherine Tate-Nam mode when you tell her how much things have gone up by. All blown, bless her. Bill says, shiny shoes, shiny mind. Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. He says the Aladdin room heaters with the tube gym. That was, yeah. Mum's probably still got hers in the garage. Because she was always keep candles and all of that lot for an emergency. You never know. I mean, I still have an old camping gas cooker that takes the screw-in gas cylinders and boxes of candles and that, you know, because you never know. Power cuts and things, you know. We had it the other year, didn't we, during the winter where there was a high risk of power cuts. So always pays to be ready, doesn't it? Prepare for the unexpected. Give these sanders a good dung out as well off there, I think. Get the old sanding, cleaning mat out. Give them all a clean, because, yeah. If I just buff this helmet, and that'll be me done for the night then. Who would have thought it, eh? Get the last bit done on there. There you go. That'll do for now. Happy days. Right. That's a good cue for me to start packing up for the night, folks. I will carry on between now and the next show and get this all assembled and together. And I shall go around, do my tyre black on all the wheels and get them done. We'll then be able to put the wheels on around the tracks. Do all of the stuff off the kit before the tracks go on. Probably be the best way of doing it, won't it? I think. Because otherwise, trying to weather them on the tank, I could imagine is going to be an absolute pain in the backside. So I'll do them off the tank, and then that'll only mean I've got 2 blocks then to join, and we can add them perhaps as slightly newer replacements. Yeah, do it that way, Carl. So that's where we are, folks. I want to also prime all of this stowage, get that all done. That's all been cleaned off now, so I can get that all primed up and ready to go. And that'll be the buildy stage done then. We can focus then on tracks, wheels, get all of them on there. Probably do some of the track weathering on there as well, just to go through that. And I think that'll be us. So again, folks, a massive thanks to you all for joining me and keeping me company. All Panzer says, Colin, I found something that's getting bigger in this shrinkflation. The holes in the donuts are getting bigger. More holes for your pound. How big's the hole in a polo now? See, that's another wibble. Yeah. 170 a litre, the petrol, says you. Wow. Unbelievable. But anyway, folks, short of me going into an on-screen wibble on shrinkflation, I'm going to love and leave you. Big thanks for coming in and keeping me company. Really has been nice to spend the evening with you all. Like I say, hopefully the routine now will be eModels Monday, then I do me solo Monday, so I'm hoping things are settling down a bit more now. In the meantime, there's a link in there where you can go and grab this kit. And until Wednesday, when I'll be back here with Fox, stay safe and well. I will see you next time, folks. Bye-bye for now.